Hey y'all, it's Patricia from Yarny Cat Crochet. Um, I just thought we'd do a little knit-in chat, and I'll do that in just a second. I figured out what I was just thinking on it. I figured out that my grandma's favorite color is this green right here. So her birthday's at the end of October, so I think I'm gonna make her a wrap with it because I got two of them. And they're like all together, both of them are a little over 700 yards, both of them together. So I figured out what I was going to do with that yarn. It's so pretty. I just love it. Kind of peacock colors, really. We were at the zoo and we saw this one bird that kind of was like a peacock, although it wasn't. It had some blue colors. Check out my Instagram if you want to see those pictures. I know some of you don't like zoos, so if you don't go. But anyway, I really do like the peacock colors. I knew a man who had some peacocks as pets in his yard. They were more than just pets, though. They were like an alarm system for him. Whenever people would come up into the yard, they would start making noise, and he'd know somebody came up onto his property. That's exactly what he used them for. He treated them well, fed them good. They had free roam of the property, so it wasn't like they were caged or anything. So they're fairly loud, and when they make their sounds, they kind of sound like a woman screaming, which is a little unnerving. Although around this time of year, it's probably the perfect ambiance, I tell you. Make sure I'm holding this up high enough. So, what are y'all working on? Most of you are probably sleeping, but when you watch this tomorrow, or whenever you watch, let me know what you're working on. What's going on in your neck of the woods? How's the weather? Any interesting fall festivals happening? What are your holiday traditions? Like, what do you do for fall? I mean, you don't have to celebrate, any particular thing for a fall festival. It's just fall. They're celebrating fall, which is a natural thing. So, how do y'all spend it? What are your traditions? We always go up to Huber's. It's Huber's Orchard and Winery if you look it up on the internet. It's in Starlight, Indiana, and it's just beautiful. We go out there. They have a hay ride out to the pumpkin patch, and the guys, they get their pumpkins, and then we'll taste the apple cider. They have tasting cups where you can taste fresh apple cider and try out their cinnamon bread. And they have this one bread where they chop up a whole pumpkin pie. I've sat there seen them. They just take the pumpkin pie, dump it out of its tin, chop it up into the bread dough, and then they bake it. And you would think that would be gross, but it is not. It's pretty good. It's actually a light tasting pumpkin bread. It's what it tastes like. But I'm sure there's probably a ton of calories in it. And they have like a cheesy bread, and they actually have a cheese and dairy. Well, it's like a dairy shop up there where they have cheeses, small batch artisanal cheeses, and they have ice cream. You can get a fresh peach ice cream or a pumpkin pie ice cream, whatever kind of ice cream they got up there at the time. My son likes, I messed up somewhere. Okay. My son likes chocolate mint chip. That's his favorite. So, yeah, we do all that. We take a lot of pictures. There's all kinds of picture opportunities up there. If you want, at the same time, you can go out and get your apples. And, you could pick your apples off the tree, or you could just buy it from their little shop. We don't go right out and pick the apples. We just buy them from the shop if we're going to get some. And one year, we got apples from there, and I was like, I gotta do something with them because I don't want them to go bad. I hate wasting things, so I sliced them all up, took the core out and everything, and laid them in the pie shell with so I got 2 pie shells 'cause I don't make pastries, so I got the Pillsbury dough already made pie shells, and I took the bottom one and, put it in the pan and did the blind bake, and then for a little bit so that my crust wouldn't be too, soggy. And then I laid the apple slices in there like you're supposed to, real pretty. And I never made an apple pie before. Oh, before I did that, I put all the apple slices in a bowl, and I dusted those with the cinnamon and sugar. But I used, it's like Swerve instead, because I didn't want to make it too sugary. I mean, you already got the carbs from the crust, and, there's sugar in apples naturally, so I was trying to cut down on some of it. So I dust them with the Swerve and the cinnamon, and then I dotted that with a little bit of butter here and there, like the pie recipe I looked up. I didn't totally follow that, but I got the gist of what you were supposed to do. And then I put the other crust, it's supposed to go in the bottom of the pan, but I was going to make a top for the pie, so I put it over the top, and I cut out pumpkin eyes and the nose and the mouth, and so it looked like a pumpkin face. And then, but it was apple. But anyway, I thought it was pretty cute. It was my first one. It didn't look perfect. I might post a picture of it on my Instagram if y'all want to go over there and look at it, but don't look yet because it's not up. But I'll get it on there before fall is over with. But it was my first homemade pumpkin pie, and it wasn't that long ago. It was like 2 years ago, maybe. It was before COVID, so whenever that fall was, that was the fall before COVID. But anyway, it was a really good fun time, and they have, if you're into sampling wine, they had a wine tasting place, and the ice cream shop, and you can get coffee at the ice cream shop, and then the fresh market where they have all the stuff that's left from their gardens, like snap beans and bell peppers and whatever they have, and all the apples. There's all gobs of apples. And it's just really pretty up there. And some people, they rent out the part that's near the winery because it has all of the grapevines. It looks really pretty. And they rent that out for weddings. One of my friends had her wedding up there. It was just beautiful. Just beautiful countryside, rolling hills, and there's a corn maze for the kids, and big hay bale people dressed up. There's a lady and a guy, and they're dressed up in their little outfits. They're giant round hay bales. It's kind of like a hay snowman, if you can imagine it, with 2 big round hay bales stacked on top of each other. They must have had a pike down in the middle or something to hold the top one from rolling off. And then they paint those with faces and clothes and stuff, and the kids get pictures by it. And they were having a petting zoo, but they took that part out. I don't know why. But in there now is like statues of animals, and they got like a jungle gym, basically, a big old slide, and just a bunch of stuff for the kids to do. The parents can sit and have their hot cocoa or whatever it is that they bought and sit there and watch the kids run out all their energy. Because seriously, sometimes you just need a break after all that. There's usually tons of people up there, and we try and get a picture with a giant blow-up pumpkin every year. It's our equivalent of fall pictures. It's country, y'all, and we love it. But, yeah, we'll get our pumpkins from there, and then we either paint them or carve them. Or sometimes I just like to leave them unpainted and leave them on the porch for decoration. And they last until Thanksgiving because we have fairly decent weather up until after Thanksgiving. So, you know, I'll get mums from the store here shortly. I'll be buying my mums for the season. I like the burnt orange rusty mums. They're just really, really pretty. I'll get 2 big ones, and they put them on my porch. And if you've seen the pictures on my porch, I got that duck. I set one by the duck and one on the other side by Jesus. And I don't know, I just really like that with a natural pumpkin sitting there. It's just really cool. And yeah, and they'll last through Thanksgiving anyway. Sometimes we let them sit too long and we'll have to shovel them off the porch because they get a little squashy. I like to throw them out back along the fence line because even though we're in a town, it's a rural town, so sometimes animals will come through, like deer and squirrels and raccoons and everything normal neighborhoods have, but also like deer and foxes. Oh, coyotes sometimes. We have coyotes. And you can hear them if you're like further out, but yeah, they roam around sometimes at night. You got to keep your eye out. This is how far I've gotten so far, which it's kind of, because it's just the first few rows, it's kind of hard to see what it's gonna, but it'll be all nice and together once I get it. Get a few rows on there, you'll be able to see it better. But yeah, it's a very fiery, pretty color. My mom did me a set and I lost one. I know I've told you guys in other videos, but for people who are just watching this video, I'm gonna retell it. But yeah, she made this one, and it's just, let me put it on. It's just beautiful. That's all. But it looks fiery, I think. It's very nice. So anyway, I lost one of them. I don't know where. I must have took them off, put them in a purse or a glove box or something, and for some reason didn't get both of them back out, or I lost one in the wash. I don't know. But anyway, so I'm making the one to replace it. Oh, so let me tell you a little bit. It's 35 casted on, and you do 48 rows, and then you sew it together, and you leave room for your thumb. For it to fit on my hand where it needs to fit, that was 5 stitches. And then there was 10 of the open stitches where your thumb comes out, and then you just sew the rest of the way down. That's the dimensions for it. And it's just garter stitch. My friend Jenny will be happy that that I've got that down pat now. I know the name. But garter stitch is a knit stitch on both sides. So you'll knit stitch all the way down the row, and then you'll flip it over and flip it around, and you knit stitch down the other side, and that's how it's a garter stitch. It makes it really springy. It's great for things like socks and these wrist warmers. But anyway, so yeah, our fall tradition is my son's birthday is the 6th, and he has basically a birthday month because he's an only child. We had 2 pregnancies, but only 1 birth, because I lost our second pregnancy, but I didn't know it for like a year later, so it wasn't anything I was expecting. I was having problems. I went in and they said, well, you're having problems because you had a miscarriage. And it was sad, but I hadn't been expecting anything like that, so it wasn't like some people who are expecting their baby, they got the room ready, stuff like that. So I thank God for that, I wasn't expecting all that, but I don't know why I get on those tangents sometimes where I just tell y'all things that you probably don't even want to hear. But anyway, long story short, I'm okay. I got the baby boy that I wanted, and he's sweet. But anyway, so he turns 25, and we basically have a birthday month. We have his birthday with his grandparent on his daddy's side, and we go out to eat with them. His daddy's sister and his grandfather, his dad's dad, and we call him Grandpa Pennick because that's our last name. And then we'll go to Huber's, and we will, on his actual birthday, we'll have whatever he wants for dinner, or we'll go out to someplace and do presents, and like I said, we go to Huber's, and then we all dress up together as a family and hand out candy to the neighbor kids on Halloween. And we basically just do what he wants all month, which is not any different from all the other months. He's spoiled, but not in a bad way. He knows the value of saving money. He knew that we didn't have much money while he was growing up, but he never did ask for a bunch of stuff because he knew it. And he was good with what he had. He was grateful. I was brought up that way, and I taught that to him. Me and my husband taught that to him. And, he always took care of his toys, and, he had a respect for the things he had, and he never asked for a whole lot, although I kind of knew the things that he liked, so I'd get him, the things that he liked. He never wanted for anything, really. When you have one kid, it's a little easier. So anyway, that's what our traditions are during the fall. We'll also go, and as we're going up to get our pumpkins, we do the leaf viewing because, so we're in a valley. We're in the Ohio Valley. And then we have to drive up through Floyd's Knobs. They're like tiny hills, not like mountains, but tall to us because we're in a valley. But anyway, while we're going, there's just this beautiful trees, foliage. So if we go late enough in the season, but before we actually need the pumpkins, we get to see the fall foliage. So that's another thing we do, view the fall leaves. And sometimes, we haven't done this very often, but they have, about in the same area, Maple Syrup Festival, which that is really cool. Okay, so I don't know if y'all have ever done this, and some of y'all may be from Canada or some places where they, do the Maple Syrup Festivals, but we do it here too, and there's this big evaporator when you go, there's a pancake house, and when you go in, there's this evaporator that has the maple liquid. It's not syrup yet. They're evaporating the water out of it, and they'll take that and they'll put it in your teacup, and you would think, ooh, really thick maple in my tea, but it doesn't taste like that. It's really good. It's a natural sweetener, and they put that hot water in the cup and they put the tea bag down in there. It is so good. Now, I love maple syrup on my pancakes. I don't really like maple flavored things like maple candy or anything like that. I like the syrup on my pancakes, but I really like that maple water before it gets evaporated. It's really good. And they have all you can eat pancakes, and they make this blueberry syrup out of fresh blueberries. It's so good. They just pour it over your pancakes. But anyway, they do all kinds of maple candy, maple syrups in a maple leaf jar. You can buy all different kind of maple themed things. It's kind of cool. They do all kind of log chopping contests and stuff, and it's just nice. Well, anyway, I don't do enough videos where I'm actually making something, so I wanted to do this and have a little chat with y'all, but I also don't want to wear you out too much. I'll be doing what's on my hook, what's in my cup, what's on my mind, or what's in my cup, what's on my hook, what's on my mind, episode 6, hopefully. It's Tuesday right now, but it's, just after midnight, so I'll be going to bed here shortly, but I will put out this video probably in the morning, and then after that sometime I'll be recording that video. So on Tuesday as promised. But anyway, I just hope that you all are having a good sleep, or if you're just getting up for work because you're in a different time zone, I hope y'all have a really good day. I've been really enjoying these videos and just getting to share my joy with everybody. I hope you get to do the same, and if you, as I always say, if you only have a few fleeting seconds to change somebody's life, just give them a smile. You never know what difference that's going to make in somebody's life. Me personally, I was going through a bad time, and someone just said, hey, and gave me a smile and was like, are you okay? And, it meant a whole lot to me. So I just know that just showing that you care, showing that you realize somebody's not there and you're missing their presence, or just showing a friendly smile to a stranger can make a world of difference. So I challenge y'all to go out there and show the love, as my grandpa, who was a preacher, would put it, show the love of Jesus. Show love, because that's what the world needs. Good night, you guys, or good morning. Have a great day. Bye-bye.